Welcome, lovers. I don't know what I'm doing, but you probably already knew that. And here's the actual person that does the YouTube channel.
Oh, you did so good.
Oh, thank you.
Tiffany is here. Actually, technically, I'm here because this is her house.
This is my house.
We came to visit.
Yeah.
And today we're talking about tattoos we would like to have.
Yes.
As I'm sure you are aware, I already have a few. So I got, my first tattoo is the little blue rose. Then I got my little collarbone phrase. And then I got my little turtles. And then I promise I'm not taking my pants off. I got my Aseptic Eye Sam and Tiny Box Tim at the same time. By an artist I should not have gone to. I had to get them fixed by my normal artist because it fucked me up.
Yeah.
And then I have one that you won't be able to see. It's back here. My shirt doesn't go down that far without choking me. But it's a crescent moon with a little Japanese peace lily in it.
Aww.
And I have those, but I still want more.
I can't have tattoos.
Oh.
Little thing. These are my wishes, but I can't have tattoos because I have bad skin.
Eczema.
Yeah, I have a bad case of eczema, and it's really bad, and I'm not going to show it because it looks gross. But it's okay.
You're still very
beautiful. But there is like a 50-50 chance that I can have tattoos. Because there is, the 50% is like, yes, my skin probably would flare up some, but then after time, once it heals completely, then I should be okay. But then the risk of it is that it would just constantly flare up and I would just itch it off.
Yeah.
And then it would be a complete waste of money and I'd have a huge scar and it would just be a mess.
Yeah, so you have to do the dot test.
I would have to do a dot test and it would take 3 months to get the full results because they would have to put everywhere that I would want a tattoo. It would be like the size of a freckle, so if it didn't work, it would be small enough where it wouldn't do any harm. And I would have to get it all over because there's a lot of tattoos I want.
Yeah.
And the tattoo artist that I talked to said it would cost like $25.
Oh, that's not bad at all. Probably because I'd barely be using any ink at all.
I know, but it's just in my brain. I can't remember if he said per dot or total, wherever I wanted it. Because I was like, if that's per dot for $25 just for you to do once and then go everywhere else, that's up to $200 for a bunch of dots.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that.
I doubt it would be more than 25 for the whole thing because a dot is barely any ink and he's only going to have to use one needle.
Yeah.
If it was like an actual tattoos cost a lot because they have to get new needles for every person. They have to get fresh ink and ink is expensive and they have to make sure they can upkeep their equipment. So it makes sense that tattoos as a whole are expensive.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But like I think single dots would be not too bad.
And then also, I can get denied at tattoo places. Because if I go in and they see how my skin looks with eczema, they can just tell me, like, we're not going to, because if it flared up, I could sue them. So even if I went in saying, like, hey, I don't know if this is going to work, I just want to get a tattoo and see. And then if it was flare up, I could use that and be like, oh, they gave me this bad skin problem, even though I already had it. Because I guess people have done that. And
yeah, there are always Karens.
Yeah, I don't think anywhere in my town will do tattoos for me, so I'd have to travel outside of my town, so I'd have to drive like 1 to 2 hours to get a tattoo, and then if like some of them that I want are huge, so then I'd have to go multiple times, hour long, and it's just like I don't think I'll ever get a tattoo.
Yeah.
Which is sad.
Well, if there's ever a situation where I'm going to San Antonio to visit my family and then you come down with me, there's a tattoo artist that I got pretty much all of my tattoos and he fixed up the messed up ones. He is a wonderful artist. He's very friendly and he knows people well enough to understand when they would or would not do stupid shit. So he would absolutely be willing to do that. Especially because he usually has documents for people to sign saying that they can't sue them for something they asked for.
Yeah, because that's what I thought. Because when I went to New York with my friend, she got a piercing done and she had to sign all this paperwork saying like, of course, like the normal, like, have you drank in the last 24 hours because of blood thinning, and which she told him no, but me and her drank wine that night before, and we didn't think it would do much. My God, it wouldn't stop bleeding. I was a little scared for her. And, but she's fine. It's a great piercing. But, yeah, she had to do all of that, so I thought of that, like, well, wouldn't I just do the same thing for my skin, so I wouldn't be able to sue them, but I guess people still, I don't know.
People still try, but most places cover their ass enough that it's not an issue.
I feel like I would be able to if I actually went in and asked, but my parents are very much against it. And so every time I bring it up or even say like, oh yeah, I'm going to go to a tattoo place, then they're just like, no. And I'm like, I'm old enough where I probably could just do it anyways, but you know, I can't hide it and I don't want them yelling at me for nothing.
My mom didn't like tattoos when I was a kid, but I knew I wanted one at least a solid 5 years before I turned 18. And because I constantly talked to her about it and I did like a fuck ton of research myself, she felt a lot better about it. And she kind of came to realize that a lot of tattoos are literally just really nice art. So sometimes she'll see a nice tattoo and want to tell me about it because it's like, look, it's art.
Nice.
So my mom had like a nice little flip.
My dad has a couple of tattoos, and he's going to get them retouched up soon. But it's just my mom's scared with my skin. She just doesn't want it to be worse, or me have to go and get it removed because my skin's reacting so badly.
Yeah, and getting tattoos removed is also a very not fun thing for your skin.
Yeah. So it's not so much, I don't think it's so much that she doesn't want me to have tattoos. I think it's more because even her mom has tattoos. My grandma has a bunch on her.
Yeah, it's probably just more about her worrying about your skin.
Yeah. Because I can't have piercings in my ears anymore because they just got... Well, I also went to Claire's, which is a horrible discussion on its own. I know you had a horrible experience with it.
Yeah.
And I fixed it by doing fake gauges. I pushed all the scar tissue out from them jacking up my ears, but I can't have just anybody pierce my ears anymore. So if I have to get them re-pierced, I have to go to a tattoo shop.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I'll just go ahead and get my first tattoo then.
The first one that I'm working towards saving for, well, that I will work towards saving for after we pay for our wedding, because that's a lot of money, is fish scales. Anyone who knows me knows I love mermaids, and I have for a very long time. So what I want to do is I want to get scales like a mermaid from the top of my neck down my spine and like out at my hips. So instead of being on my spine, it'll be at the sides and kind of go out and flare at my hips. I really want to do that.
That'd be so cool.
But I want to go somewhere where they know how to do shading like super well, so it looks like semi-realistic. Because I've seen tattoos like that and they're amazing.
Yeah.
They're so amazing. I also decided I want a sleeve on this arm.
That'd be so cool.
Because I like have a bunch of stuff that I've thought about wanting to do on this arm, and I'm like, that might go here, that could go here, that could go here. So I'm like, I should just get a sleeve. I want to get a series of the kiratas from AKB0048 like in a circle, but with a kirata of my own in the middle and have it look like they're glowing. But I don't know if I want to have it below my elbow or above my elbow, where the one that'll be representative of my kirata like in the middle. So either right here or right here.
I think it looks good up there.
Right here?
Yeah. Because then it could be a little bigger.
Yeah. And because I already have turtles right here, I could do some sort of like water theme going up here until it fades into the glow.
Oh, that'd be cool.
So I could do, and because you know I love Subnautica, I could probably do something from that with like peepers or something else around this area.
You know what you could totally do is have peepers in like the cuttlefish, and then have like, you know how sunlight hits underwater? Yeah. Have the glow of the kiras.
That's a good idea. Make it look like there's water like right there, and then the glow goes going through. Oh, that'd be so cool.
Then it kind of meshes those two worlds of things that you like together.
Yeah, and then make it like a whole sleep. Yeah. There are a couple other things I could do, but that's what I know for sure that I want to do so far. So yeah.
It's a toss-up between the first tattoo that I would want to get, because either I would go for the one that I seriously want, or the simple one that wouldn't take too much ink or anything. So the simple one is around my wrist, cat paw prints, kitty prints.
Kitty prints.
For the cats that I've had in the past, the one that I lost, and then for my current fur babies, where I don't know where they went. And so I either wanted them to go around my wrist, so it's kind of like a bracelet, or going down my arm. Oh. I haven't decided yet. But the one that I really, really, really want to get is in big block letters going down my wrist towards my elbow is PMA. And then in script is finishing out the word. So like next to the big
positive
P,
mental attitude.
And I haven't decided yet on what to fill in, because I think I kind of want to do like an ombre with blue.
Oh, that'd be pretty.
So like bluish to green. And then a little Sam with a little heart looking up at it. I really want to get that. Because sometime in my life, with you, I want to go and meet Jacksepticeye.
Oh, that would be amazing. I really want to do that.
I want to have that tattoo before I get to, so that, because I'm also not above the whole tattooing autograph.
Oh, yeah.
And so I would totally be okay if I was like, just take a Sharpie, sign it right above going along the PMA, and then I'd go get it tattooed. I don't know if I could even do that.
That would be so cool, though.
But that would just complete that whole look, and that'd be it. Life done.
That would probably be the only tattoo I get on my right arm. Because of my weird religious things, and I need to get tested for ADHD and OCD, because I have a lot of the symptoms from both of those things.
Yeah.
One of those things, a lot of those things pertaining to the fact that I grew up religious. So if there's anything that goes in the middle of my forehead or around my right hand and wrist, I freak the fuck out. Because the places where God's symbol is supposed to be on your body. And it just makes me really uncomfortable. So if somebody pokes me on my forehead, I spend the next 5 minutes like doing this, trying to wipe it off. It's real weird. So if I ever did get a tattoo on my right arm, it would probably be that, because I could put it on the side where it wouldn't like hit the weird area.
The other one that I wanted to get on my right forearm is the Supernatural quote, "Family doesn't end in blood."
Yes.
Because I have a lot of drama with family, but then I've also had a lot of problems with friends that I've made. And so I have a very, very, very close little friend group of like 3 people total.
Yeah.
And so like that's my family that I have created. And of course you're there. But I've always loved that quote from the show. And there's a lot of other ones, because I thought about getting an Impala like under, like around where my ribs are on the side, but I was like, I like this kind of tattoos for fandoms where you have to know the fandom to get the tattoo.
Yeah.
So I don't want to just get like an Impala and then someone say, oh, it's Supernatural because it's the Impala, everybody knows that.
Yeah.
I'd rather get the quote and then somebody read it and be like, oh yeah, Bobby said that. And I'm like, yes, true fan.
I love Bobby so much.
That's what I'd like, because there's a lot of people that know the show.
But they don't know it's the show.
So it's like, I like finding that kind of stuff. Like, I had a friend in school in college, and she liked the same band as I did. I never knew. She didn't know I liked it till I saw her tattoo, and it was the band symbol behind her ear, and I went like, I know it. And as soon as I did, we were best friends for that whole semester. It was so cool. And there's another tattoo on the back of my neck, which I don't think I can have because I have a lot of eczema there, but it's from Bleach, his main sword.
Oh, his Zanpakuto?
Mm-hmm. Not the first Bankai, but when it's the, I think it's a Shikai. I think it's called.
I think.
It's when his really big one.
Yeah.
Not the first one, but the second version with the ribbon. I want to get that going down my neck with the ribbon trailing around, and then have cherry blossom petals. Oh. Because I love Byakuya's sword too. But I don't want to have multiple swords. So I was like, that one because it's the main characters and it's my favorite version of his regular sword. And then cherry blossoms because I love Japanese stuff.
I did recently decide that I want to get a quote from the She-Ra cartoon.
Oh, yeah.
You are worth more than what you can give to other people. You deserve love too. Because that is a thing that hits hard. Yeah. Especially for people like me with severe mental illness. Mm-hmm. It's like, spend our lives trying to be useful to other people. Mm-hmm. It's like, you are worth more than that, and I need to remember that.
I used to want, when I was really, really like in a bad place in high school and things, I used to take Sharpies, and I would write, in the end, everything will be okay. And I was like, I'm going to get that tattooed right here. Because that's what I would do. And then as I got older, I was just like, I don't need that. And then I found PMA, and I'm like, that's what I need. Yeah. Because then PMA just absolutely kicked everything else out that was bad and got me to where I am now.
I really appreciate PMA for what it is, because it's not just be happy, just be positive. It's let yourself feel your feelings, but don't reside in the sadness. Know that there will be a brighter tomorrow.
I use it not just for that, but just like when I'm in a bad situation, or if my anxiety is really bad, or if I'm getting mad for no reason, I'll just repeat, just positive mental attitude. And I'm like, but you can, if it's not a situation where I should be upset, it's just me reacting in not a healthy way, then I'm like, you can be positive about it. It's not the end of the world. This is not a big deal. And that's kind of helped me calm down.
Like, whether it's just being, like, generally really upset or angry or anything that's not positive, you can just be like, I need to try and be positive, because that makes it easier.
When it's dumb things like me getting frustrated at work and things, that's when I think of it. And that's why I want it on my arm. So whenever I look down, I'm like, okay, it's all right. It's not a big deal, because I overreact a lot about dumb things. There's some things that I overreact to that deserve an overreaction. Like family problems. Like that, I can be upset about for a day or so. But whenever I drop like a spoon of whipped cream at work on the floor that I just mopped, I don't need to freak out about that.
Yeah.
I can be mad for a little bit, but then I need to get over it. So.
Yeah, the last person I dated, there was one period of time where we were, like, laying down talking about stuff, and I was talking about mermaids, because, you know, I love mermaids. Yeah. And he said something along the lines of, it doesn't really matter because they're not real. And I was like, well, there's no way to really prove that they're not real. And he's like, well, we basically know what's in the ocean, so we can pretty much guarantee they're not real. And I said, no, that's not true. And we legitimately got in an argument about it, and I got so angry I cried.
Aww.
Because he's not the person that you can change his mind, because he's not willing to change his mind.
Yeah.
And he's also the kind of person to look at you and say, you're being emotional because you're choosing to be emotional. So you can't just talk to him about it. My last relationship was terrible. Yeah. But, like, when I initially got upset, it wasn't for a very good reason. Mm-hmm. When I got upset after that, it was
that's a better reason.
But, like, initially it was a situation I could have just tried to calm down.
Yeah, I've done that a lot. But the first tattoo idea I had would put me in debt. So what I wanted to do was from here to here.
Ooh, big boy.
Yeah, and it would only be shading, no colors.
Oh.
It would have been expensive. I wanted to get the 30 Seconds to Mars?
Yeah.
So they're 4 symbols?
Yeah.
I wanted to get that, but then coming out from the bottom and from the top, a treble clef, looking like it was going into my skin, and then there's symbols like burned in, and then it coming out.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. That is a big boy.
Yeah. You know how much I thought it would only be a couple hundred, because at the time I was in high school and I didn't really know how much tattoos cost.
Yeah.
And then when I got older, I was like, oh my god, that's like a new car. Yeah, what have I done?
Tattoos are definitely expensive.
Yeah, and then I was going to get one for my mom, because me and her like to send the little whale emoji to each other. So I was going to get that on this ankle, and then a rainbow trout jumping out of the water for my dad. Oh. But when I told my mom that, I said, I'll get a little whale for you. She was like, no, you can't have that. I was like, but it's a whale on my ankle. Why not?
Yeah, my first one was a Nana thing, because my grandma used to call me her little blue rose.
Aww.
So I was like, I want that. I actually had one of my friends draw it out for me because I didn't want to fuck it up.
I had my grandma's got 2 tattoos on her ankles. She's got a horse head with a horseshoe and flowers, little roses, and then she's got flowers around a star on her other ankle. And so I thought about getting a horseshoe for her, but then I really thought about it. I'm like, I don't want 2 tattoos on the same ankle, so I'd have to put the horseshoe somewhere else.
Hi.
So I don't really know. I don't think there was any other tattoos, because I wanted to. Oh yeah, there was one. It was another bleach one. Mm-hmm. Do you know Cone's little footprint? The circle with just the 3 triangles for the claw.
No, I didn't get like super far into it.
Well, it was like in the first season, like whenever it would cut to commercial, and then when it come back and say like bleach, and then like a little paw print.
Oh yeah.
That would stamp.
Oh, I forgot they called him that.
Yeah, it's okay. I wanted to get that right here with my favorite episode number. I don't remember what the number is, but that's what I was going to do. But yeah, that was just an idea. But then I thought about it. I'm like, I don't know if I'd want this, because all the tattoos that I've wanted, besides the ones on my wrist, are easily hidden. That's why I was like, it needs to mean something.
Yeah.
And the bleach ones, I don't want to explain that a bunch to people, because everyone would ask me like, oh, that's a cute little circle with triangles, what's that? It's bleach. These are easier to explain. Cats and what helped me a lot.
Yeah, I think the only time my mom was ever really concerned about me wanting to get tattoos was these two. Because she was like, well, what if one day you don't like them anymore? What if they do something really bad and you decide you don't like them anymore? And I was like, I understand the concern, but I had been watching them for so long, and they're very open about who they are and what they believe. And I'm like, at this point, nothing's going to happen. Like, at this point, we know enough about them that I know that it's never going to turn into something really terrible. Yeah. Not something I could have ever said for Cry, which was proven recently, but...
I was going to get a little sup guy saying sup, but now, the funny thing is I found a new YouTuber.
He looks exactly like Cry.
He has the same little guy. It's not called a sup guy. I don't know what...
He's got the same little blob dude, and he also has a little mask for his, like...
Yeah, but it's slightly different compared to Cry's.
Yeah, his isn't a blank poker face. His is like a smiley face.
Yeah, his name's Dream, or Dream Was Taken.
Yeah.
And he plays Minecraft, and he's amazing. And anybody watching that doesn't know him, go.
If you really liked Cry, and now you can't watch him like us because he's a shit human being, we suggest looking for Dream, because...
He's so good. I absolutely love it.
It's a great replacement.
He's funny, but the difference between him and Cry, besides that he only plays Minecraft, is he's just a badass at it. He doesn't really fail too often, and when he does, it's usually hilarious, and he gets really mad. But then, since he kind of has the same character, I almost wanted to get his little guy, and then have one of his sayings, but then I thought about it, and I'm like, well then, if somebody was to see it, unless Dream became really popular, because right now he just passed 6 million subscribers, so he's that was like in 2 weeks, from 5 to 6, so he's rising up pretty quick, much faster than Cry ever actually did, because I think he only hit 3 million.
Yeah.
And now it's dropped down below 2, I think.
Yeah, because no one's watching him anymore.
Yeah, he's enough. But, so unless he kept getting more popular, and if I am able to get tattoos, I might get his little guy. And it's different, because the sup guy, besides it just being a straight line, and then the eyes out to here, he's perfectly drawn.
Yeah.
Dreams is not. It's hand drawn.
Yeah, his is messy.
His kind of slants to the side, and his is always smiling.
And it's a little messy.
It's messy.
I saw something on Twitter when all the stuff, like right after all the stuff came out about Cry, and it was bad. And there was somebody who had a tattoo that said "more to come" on like the outside of their arm, so they had it done over, so now it's a coffin. And they're like, I actually really like it now. Yeah. And I'm like,
in the same font and everything. That's a cool tattoo, but
but
sucks.
It's a coffin now. It looks good, and it's a nice replacement, but it still sucks. But
you know, if Cry was not a terrible person, you know what would have been a really cool tattoo idea? Is to have the "more to come" and then have him like laying over it.
Oh yeah.
His little sup guy, but now he's an awful person, so that I wouldn't pay money for that.
Yeah.
But
now his voice makes me nauseous.
Yeah.
I used to love it, and now it makes me nauseous.
But with the idea also with the Dream tattoo is, and he does manhunts, which I absolutely love. Those are my life. And he turns into what people are starting to call his nightmare instead of dream, because dreams, happy dream. Yeah. Nightmare. A dream, terrifying.
Because apparently every YouTuber ever needs to have an ego.
Evidently.
I think it's just a thing at this point where the fandoms are like, we need to have one of our own.
I'm so glad Felix didn't actually go through with it.
Yeah,
he started to.
His wasn't great.
It was PewDiePie.
Yeah, it was not.
It was not good. It's like, stop, Felix.
Yeah.
Be you. Don't follow them. But it'd be cool if I made like his little guy smiling, and then a mirror next to him with the nightmare, because all it is his eyes are red and his smile is just a little more creepier. That's the only difference it is. But yeah, I doubt I'll ever do that, because I don't want people thinking I was Cry's little sup guy.
Anyways, that's going to be it for this video, so I hope you enjoyed it, but if you didn't, that's perfectly okay and perfectly understandable, but hopefully we'll see you in the next video anyway. So until then, we hope your day and or night is just as lovely as you are. So, bye-bye.
Bye.
Yeah.